Welcome back to my channel at The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. It has been a couple weeks since Thunderbolts has been out in theaters, and it is safe to say now that the movie has officially lost Marvel money. It is maxing out just shy of $400 million. It's around like the $360 to $380 million mark. This movie cost like $180 million to make. It needed to make about $450 million just to break even ever before it even broke a profit, and it's not gonna get there. And it's kind of shocking on one hand because the movie is one of the best things they've done since pre-Infinity War and Endgame. It has like over 90% critic and audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a high cinema score. Everyone that's seen it seems to love the film. It touches upon really deep messages like needing friends and family and being depressed and what it means to feel alone in a world. And it had very serious subject matter that I praised Marvel for tackling in an otherwise pretty much family-friendly type of film market that they reside in. And I want to kind of touch upon why I think it didn't make the money that it deserved. And on one hand, it's really a couple little things that all add up to the overall reason. On one hand, you have a bunch of B-level characters in this film that not a lot of people know. I've seen so many people talking before this movie came out that this was going to be the big money maker of the year for Marvel and not Fantastic Four, and I never really agreed with that. And the reason is, as much as the Fantastic Four has had a bumpy road up to this point, and they haven't really ever had a very successful movie commercially, financially, critically, there's still more in the zeitgeist than the Thunderbolts are. People know the Fantastic Four. Even though the movies haven't been good, there have still been Fantastic Four movies that families have taken their kids to see. And the Thunderbolts is comprised of, like I said, B-level characters where if you didn't watch the Disney Plus shows, you don't know half of them. And Ghost is a character from Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, who was like a C-level character and barely in the film. And say what you will, the diehard Marvel fans watch everything, obviously. They go to the movies, they see the movies. They have Disney Plus, they watch all the Disney Plus shows. They know all the characters. There is not a lot of people in the world that watch the Disney Plus shows the way that the diehard Marvel fans do. So there is a large portion of people that saw this trailer and went, we don't even know who any of these people are. Let's just wait to watch it on streaming. There was a lot of people that commented on the videos of me reviewing Thunderbolts saying, this looks good, I'm gonna wait to watch it on streaming. And I think another thing has to do with, it didn't feel like an event. Unfortunately, we live in a world now in the Avengers where unless it's an event film or a film with nostalgia bait where we're getting characters from the past coming in, we're getting cameos from the Fox universe characters, unless it's a Spider-Man No Way Home where every Spider-Man on the planet's coming in, unless it's a Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness where they're teasing cameos from all these different iconic actors portraying these characters that we all know and love, unless it's an Avengers film with 50 plus surprise characters, people aren't rushing out the way they were to see these movies. Look at Captain America Brave New World. It was not a colossal piece of shit. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible enough either to tank, but people didn't show up. People didn't show up for Thunderbolts. People didn't show up for Shang-Chi. People didn't show up for Eternals. They showed up for Thor. They showed up for Spider-Man. They showed up for the Guardians of the Galaxy because they're all recognizable characters, and people just aren't the same way that they were pre-Infinity War and Endgame, where they were showing up for everything because it was leading to Avengers and they felt like they needed to be in the know. They needed to know the next chapter before the Avengers dropped. That's another problem. This Phase 5 or Phase 4, this Phase 4 has not done a good job at setting up the next arc in Avengers Doomsday to the point where everyone feels like they need to rush out to see the next chapter. It doesn't feel like a book anymore where each movie is a different chapter leading to this Avengers level event. Therefore, everyone's like, oh, we'll just wait to catch it on streaming. And look, you and I know that people watching this video probably understand that streaming doesn't actually do anything for anybody. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, who cares if it only made like $400 million? It'll find more success on streaming. It doesn't make anything from streaming at all. So there's no success to be had on there. So all the people saying, yeah, Thunderbolts looks great, but I'll wait to watch it on streaming at home. I don't like going to the movie theater anymore. Those people are taking money away from this movie being successful. They're not doing it maliciously. They just don't understand because now you're getting all these streaming movies on Netflix, on Apple TV Plus, on Amazon, that everyone thinks that this is a viable market for movies where really all these streaming services are making these movies at a deficit. They're not making any money on it. They're just hoping that their subscribers grow, and that's where they're making all their money from. So you mix that these are unknown characters, it's dark subject matter that isn't super family friendly, in a world where there's not a whole lot of continuity between the Marvel films anymore, so people don't feel the need to rush out to see it, and the age of streaming, and the fact that people aren't showing up for these movies unless it's like nostalgia filled. I think all of that coupled into one whole package that caused this movie to underperform, whereas I think a lot of these people are gonna catch it once it's on streaming because they didn't see it as an event, but they saw it as something that could be enjoyable. So I do think that more people will see it, and I think that if Marvel understands that and takes the risk, I think that after it runs its course on streaming and everybody that would have went to the theaters to see it wind up seeing it on streaming, if they were to do a Thunderbolts 2, or in this case, a new Avengers 2, that it'll only double its box office, because now all the people that didn't see it initially are going to want to see this one in theaters after realizing just how good it was. But what do you guys think? Why do you guys think that this movie severely underperformed? Do you agree with the reasonings that I laid out here, or do you have your own reasons behind it? Let's talk about it in the comments down below, and as always guys, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you next time.